Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to MDL qualifiers for the China region. We are going to be taking a look at game number 3. We've gone the distance. Vici Gaming facing off against EHOME. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Tsunami643, my main man. How you doing?
Yo, I'm doing real good. I couldn't have asked for a better game 2 after that game 1, so now that these teams are now properly tagged up, I can only imagine that things may take a more vanilla tone. Maybe they'll play a little bit more tempered this time. Maybe we won't have all chat audio lines, but somehow I don't think that that's going to make any difference whatsoever, because these two teams are, well, they're fighting for elimination now in this MDL qualifier, and well, it's two teams that have proven that they both are capable. Vici Gaming now having a fresh recruit, not so really fresh, but new to the team as of like the past 48 hours or so, and yeah, it's seems like it's been a good fit.
Yeah, and I think that like it's also a little bit weird because they've been working really well together, I feel like. But he's also kind of run into issues every now and then where maybe he goes a bit too deep, gets picked off, things like that. Overall, I'd say that Hao's been playing a good game, but I feel like there's maybe some kinks still to work out. Obviously, first game together, you're going to build that synergy as time goes on. But yeah, good things overall. We can talk a little bit about the draft maybe. It's a first pick Monkey King overall, followed up by the Earth Spirit. I thought we were back at DAC with those two taking on this early stage, but then switching it up, it's Alina and then a hero that's really come to prominence recently, the Clockwork.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Clockwork has enjoyed this recent obsession. I always thought that the hero was, you know, many people saw all the shrines and all the, you know, capabilities of iron talenting and stuff like that, and Clockwork was always a hero that never really needed any of those resources. And same thing with Darkseer, and then Darkseer slowly started coming back and people were like, oh dude, it's actually pretty good to have an offlaner that you don't need to be concerned about 24/7. And so Darkseer started wrecking shop in Kiev, and then all of a sudden Clockwork is also starting to make a resurgence because people are like, dude, what if we get actual initiation that doesn't require a blink dagger? Right. And so now we're getting a throwback. Both the heroes are going to be in this pool.
It's funny how that stuff sort of goes, and like for a little while people were having Centaur as that option. Like he was the one that was going to be the initiation that you could get without needing a blink dagger with Stampede. But now it's sort of a new way to make it work where you can just focus on one particular, and particularly in like the meta where I feel like finding a kill and then immediately going into objectives is a really strong way to play Dota in general. It seems like he just works. But likewise, Vici going with the stock standard and classic. Darkseer, Earth Spirit. That is the dream.
This is definitely a more typical draft than what we saw in game 1 and 2, though it seems that both teams have kind of been taking exotic carry picks both games. This game, Terriblade is banned out. However, PA is still in the... What the fuck?
Darkseer.
No, not that hero.
I know, but Oracle. To deal with it. In lane.
I know, but like many people, I'm pretty sure generally considered the current worst hero in competitive right now. I think Nahaz actually said that he has the lowest either win rate stats or pick rate stats, or maybe both put together, lowest elo shift, something like that. Whatever the case, this hero is not good, to say the least. Hell, even like Fly was tweeting earlier that he was just like, I hope Oracle gets buffed. Yeah. And so if OG can't make this hero work, and this is the team that tried to make Arc Warden work multiple times at a major LAN and failed repeatedly, and yet even they put Oracle on the blacklist. Well, apparently EHOME have something up their sleeve.
Here's the thing though, look at these heroes. You've got Darkseer, first and foremost, considered one of the best counters to Darkseer in lane there is. You literally just pop your Q, you take off his Iron Shell, he sits there and cries. Lina, Fate's Edict blocks everything. Every single thing that comes out from her until she gets an Aghanim Scepter, pretty much. Then Earth Spirit, you're also able to purge off the ulti, and you can mitigate a lot of the damage that comes out from him. I think if there was a game to take Oracle, this would be it. If there was a game.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's a place for pretty much each of his spells, and with a Spectre, Purifying Flames definitely can help out, as Dispersion does somewhat reduce the, Dispersion does somewhat reduce the damage that you take from Purifying Flames, and Spectre typically does need a babysitter in lane and one that can heal her, but one of the main reasons why Oracle has fallen off is because he has terrible talents. I can't even remember them off the top of my head, so I'm going to look him up, because many supports rose to prominence because of their great talents. And so at level 10, Oracle has the choice between 20 experience gain or 20 respawn time. Neither of those are bad, but these days you need supports that can that don't have something bad but have actually something good, because what I just described are basically like almost carry talents, wherein that they assume that your hero is going to get farm and they'll just give you like these charity talents. Then at level 15, he has a 60 GPM talent or 200 HP.
That's garbage. That's
terrible. That's so bad. And 15 is often a massive spike. Freaking Phoenix gets 150 GPM at level 15. And then at level 20, 20 int or 25 movement speed.
That's garbage too.
25 movement speeds are given out like candy at level 10, but no, it's level 20 for him. And then level 25 is 2 seconds on False Promise or 250 cast range. Like, what the hell?
The 250 cast range is kind of cool, but usually you're going to have an Aether Lens, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this hero has fallen off for good reason. Like, the spells are still good, but the game changed and Oracle didn't keep up, because even the sustainability that False Promise provides has somewhat been ruled out with the presence of shrines and with bounty runes being all over the place. That bottle is much more useful, and so like oftentimes when you want to pick a medic support, Oracle is not even on the list. You'll pick IO, you'll pick Dazzle, you'll pick Omni Knight, you'll pick Warlock. Oracle is not on the list, but he's on the list this game, and you did mention many uses for the Fortune's End this game, and same thing with Fate's Edict, but I don't know if that'll be enough.
I'm curious if it will be. It's certainly something that it requires a lot of presence of mind to make sure that it's all worked in like perfect concert together. But if you can do it, he's one of the few heroes that I feel like can outplay like any hero. You know, if an Oracle is playing it really well, he will own your face in a supporting fashion. You know, Fate's Edict up at the last second to take off Laguna Blade, whatever it ends up happening. But Sven is the last pick. Man, if there was a wombo, they got the combo. It's all going down.
That's weird, though, because Sven is a hero that gets obliterated by the disarm on Fate's Edict, because oftentimes you won't build a BKB until later on. These days, Svens have been putting a lot of emphasis on Mask of Madness. Echo Saber hasn't really made too much of a resurgence on Sven, but I saw some NA games yesterday, I believe, for Summit 7 NA qualifiers where it may have been a Sven, but a Lifestealer. Two melee heroes built Echo Saber that game, and I was like, whoa, people still build that item, which I think is fine. A lot of people are like, oh, it fell off because it doesn't slow attack speed anymore, but who the hell was buying it because of the slow to attack speed anyway? Yeah. So Svens won't build a BKB early on, and he doesn't have anyone on his team that can like easily build a Lotus Orb or something else to, you know, get rid of the Fate's Edict disarm. So it's very strange to me that they'll pick a Sven into an Oracle, because that's oftentimes like a counter pick if you see a Sven, but most teams have very odd drafts. I still give the edge to Dire with Vici Gaming.
All right, I'm curious to see what this Oracle does. As you mentioned, they take basically the only hero that's not countered out by Oracle is Visage. Everybody else is, you know, quite good with our Oracle's quite good against them, and I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing the Oracle actually max Fate's Edict second. You talked about that being a great counter. If you look at the way that this scales, it's wonderful. 7-second cooldown on 4.25 seconds. So out of every, what is this, 11.5 seconds, you're going to get to attack for 2.5 seconds of that? Is that how that works? No, it's not.
Every 7 seconds
you get to attack for 2.5 seconds. Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah. So it's possible that he may not need to put too much focus on the Fortune's End, because you're only going to really need it for the purge capabilities, and you only need 1 point in that. Purifying Flames is almost always maxed out, and you are going to have a lot of synergy with this Monkey King and the Clockwork, because these are both very bursty heroes. As soon as you jump on a target, you want to deal your damage as quickly as possible, and so yeah, Purifying Flames will be #1, but you're right, I wouldn't be surprised if Fate's Edict proves to be a very strong #2 option, because even like you said earlier in the draft, the ability to mitigate a lot of Lena's magic damage is going to be very useful, so you can just put that on your initiating hero like the Clockwork or the Monkey King, and all of a sudden the only amount of damage that you need to be concerned about is what comes out of Sven.
Right, and that's the thing too, is that like you're not going to need to worry about Sven until you get to that point where he's actually hitting really hard, and that's probably like you can find kills with Purifying Flames early, most likely. It becomes a really significant nuke. But yeah, meanwhile, it's going to be the Clockwork in the off lane for Question Mark. He's going to have to contend with a Visage, Sven, and, well, maybe Darkseer. Although Darkseer does look, or rather, excuse me, Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit looks to be going for this Courier Snipe, is getting into position, but he messed up his boulder?
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
I don't know. That's peculiar.
Does he not double tap it to lay it down in front of you?
That's a possibility, but every player has their own style. Instead, he's going to roll in on the Monkey King, but Monkey King is Jingu, but this is just going to discourage I mean, like, yeah, that's Earth Spirit 101, but that would have been a big boost. The delivery already took place, so mid lane would have been mostly unaffected, but still, that's a damn shame that Earth Spirit wasn't able to get that.
No. In the meantime, you'll get some pulls off here in this lane since Darkseer realizes he can't come there at all. He's going to be off to the side farming up jungle, and maybe he can come back into lane once he gets level 3 or something like that. Even then, it's not going to be easy because your Oracle is going to have Q regardless anyways, or at least has the potential to get it. And he'll probably have level 2 by the time Darkseer comes in, if not 3 himself.
Yeah, Monkey King is going to be enough of a deterrent, I suppose, to make sure that Darkseer is kept under control. He's not actually sapping any experience right now. Monkey King wants to go for a Courier Snipe, and I don't know if Lena's paying attention because right now the Earth Spirit is also rotating on mid, so they may be just trying to concentrate on getting a good pick onto DK, but DK is not an easy target. Like, sure, Lena is mostly magic damage, and as is Earth Spirit, but still, he has a lot of HP regen, 7 HP per second right now.
Oh, there is going to be a courier that drops off a Soul Ring recipe for the Darkseer, who's now going to head back home, and it doesn't look like there's going to be much more done besides that. Earth Spirit does have an Invis Rune. Maybe you could do something, but they don't have level 2, so even then it's still pretty tough.
Darkseer serves as the Wait, no, he just comes by.
Yeah, he's putting the Ion Shell there for the Earth Spirit.
I mean, I guess Lena doesn't have the... Okay, she just bought her bottle, and now it's coming in. So, we'll see if all this time that he spent is going to pay off. I don't even know which tree he is, at least this one.
Yeah, it looks like it will work out. He's been just sitting here the entire time waiting for it, and...
Lena's walking back. The tree is edging around.
Did they get there in time? God, run, get over there. Going for the right clicks. He's zoning the bottle. Wants it so bad, but won't end up being able to find it. So
both teams fail their Courier Snipes, and arguably more of an investment for Monkey King, because Monkey King, he's deep into level 1, whereas Earth Spirit's about to hit level 2, and will now get it off this bot wave, seeing as how, for some reason, Oracle is not interested in taking off this Ion Shell. Indeed.
Maybe they just want to save the mana?
I guess. It's a level 2 Ion Shell, though, so, I mean... It doesn't look like much, but Spectre took like a fair amount of damage from that, and he has a clarity on Oracle, but I don't know, maybe they're just concerned about Earth Spirit rotations, which now Earth Spirit is rotating, but okay, they're gonna purge it off. Now Monkey King's here, but he's level 1 only.
No way to stop it. He'll fool them into a false sense of security by turning into a tree. I'm sure they're gonna be bamboozled. So... About 4 minutes into it, early laning stages, nobody really pulling very far ahead, with the exception of the Darkseer has more farm and up to level 4 at this point. So I guess a little bit behind in terms of levels because a lot of that was jungle creeps. Yeah,
and Clockwork is keeping up just fine as well. Not zoning out the Sven, but both the Sven and the Clockwork basically have an agreement that we're both going to get our farm, we'll both get our experience. We're not really going to interfere with each other's games, but Clockwork is going to definitely start doing stuff once level 6 comes online, because pretty much all of Vici's heroes are easy prey for Clockwork, aside from Sven, and they're going to go in mid.
Oh, mid as well as top. They're going to be able to find this DK there, but 2 points up in the Dragon's Blood means they are not going to be able to find that. And the Light Strike Array creates that separation from Monkey King. Still battle happening up top, but it was just Clockwork using Battery Assault for not a whole hell of a lot. Is how able to walk away fine and dandy.
I'm actually surprised that Clockwork is going for max battery, but I guess that just shows how little time Visage has been spending zoning out the clock, which Visage isn't really the best hero to zone out a Clockwork. Visage isn't really the best hero to zone out any offlaners, but he's not having to max flare to farm. Scan is used, so Spectre actually knows, but man, he's still playing up.
Well, it's Scan hit onto the Darkseer, though. That was the thing, and now the stun coming through. It is going to connect. They're trying to take down these trees, run down the Spectre. It is going to end up happening. First blood, believe it or not, drawn at this late stage, 5 minutes into the game.
I mean, I can understand that it did hit the Darkseer, but then why put the Scan there?
Yeah, no, totally.
If you get the information and you're not going to do anything with that information, then what's the point? But yeah, Spectre gets a little bit too aggressive. Not really the best vision. They had this dire ward to
up
top lane.
Yeah, they're going on to Hao, but now you have Wukong's here as well. Actually, excuse me, just the Boundless Strike. The good stun comes out, but it will still be the death of Hao. And looks like Monkey King will also be able to escape. Ward on himself. There's a regen top, but that's going to be, I'm sure, taken by this Lina. And she has level 6 as well, so good Zika and good rotations.
Yeah, and same thing with Clockwork. He just needs to get, like, oh, okay, the bounty rune, there we go. And now he's level 6. He's going to shrine up, probably once the rest of his team comes by. Spectre wants to participate. She's not level 6 yet, though, so Haunt won't be available. But with 3 points in Battery Assault and a Monkey King on your back, you can likely kill both the Visage or the Lina. Not both, but one or the other.
Yeah, Spectre, a little bit of indecision shown here. Thought about just going instead. Ooh, they haven't been able to find, though. There's the Visage. Nice initiation. Bit off more than he could chew. Ends up finding the kill. It's actually going to be the Visage going down first before the Clockwork dies to the Lina. And that is still not quite going to be Spectre's 6, but could be some damage onto the tier 1. It's still not easy. Lina can just push so quickly.
Yeah, even though you use Dragon's Form, you still need to get the creep wave up there. And even despite having 0 points in Cloak, Visage proved to be surprisingly tanky, but I guess really Battery Assault would have burned through it anyway, and Monkey King was looking to prioritize the Lina, and so Boundless Strike only connected on the Lina, and as soon as Visage took a bunch of burst damage, immediately used Soul Assumption, Laguna Blade, Cloak. God Strength is used to farm a creep wave.
Yeah,
he's kind of screwed now.
Now in some trouble. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage coming in here, and he's just going to be brought down. Another big kill coming the way of the Spectre. So 1-1-1 for her, and now the Rolling Boulder in with the kick as well. They managed to bring her down, and Lina coming in as well, trying to find this kill now onto the Monkey King. Takes a little hit from the neutrals, and Clockwork trying to create that separation for his Monkey King to make the escape, which will indeed happen. Jumping out of there. No mana for Tree Dance. Light Strike Array.
Oh, no.
What?
Not that one.
Oh,
they have a roll still. I guess they gave up.
Yeah.
That would have been a confirmed kill because Lina, Laguna Blade just came up also, though I guess she didn't have the mana for it if she needed to spend on the LSA. But yeah, Monkey King gets out. Pretty good turnaround, but you still don't really want to have to lose your Sven. But Spectre has been very, very active, and this is an active Spectre pre-Haunt and pre-Earn. And usually you don't want your Spectre having to come into the fights first, you want her to be kill stealing, and that was an initiating Spectre, and so you got the kill on the Sven, but it's an expensive kill.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you do have the Sven who's been pretty heavily focused. He's 0-2-2, and not us.
Shot mid lane.
Are they going to get him? Okay. But yeah, it's still Spectre ahead of the Sven fairly significantly, but you would love to just keep that momentum going for her.
I mean, it's oh man, Earthquake rolling in.
Another stun. They stun each other. It's not going to connect, and there's going to be the Fate's Edict keeping him alive through none of the damage that came out. Really well played. Is he going to live through it? No, no more mana left. and no more ability to use Fate's Edict a second time for the Laguna Blade.
And not enough experience to have False Promise up and running on the Oracle either. Oracle has... I mean, I haven't really been seeing this Oracle too much, so I assumed that whenever Spectre was off dilly-dallying in the top lane, Oracle was kind of given some farm priority, but it doesn't look like this Oracle has been able to catch up very much, as a False Promise at that stage would have been critical to save Dragon Knight, but he goes down and still the tier 1 tower remains up for Radiant, and pretty healthy as well.
Yeah. They have been, making sure to keep that one guarded and gotten brought down. Another hook shot is going to be offline, or rather online, for the Clockwork in just a second. Runs into prey. Nice kick away, but they still find him and should be able to find this kill. Haunt here as well.
Haunt used?
Hey man, you got to get the kills.
I guess, but what? Wait, what? Why does Spectre have a Morbid Mask queued up?
Wants to go jungle. I know this build well.
Oh really?
Well, I mean, insofar as it's a terrible build that I do.
Oh, that you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Going back
I don't suppose you've seen it in competitive before, have you?
No, but have you seen the Midas for the Spectre instead?
I have. I can legitimize that one a little bit more. But, okay, he hasn't bought the Morbid Mask yet.
No, he
I don't know what
switched it
that's
out.
about.
He changed up his Q instead to get a Gloves of Haste.
Alright, well, I mean, both of them are peculiar choices. It's definitely not a Vanguard, it's definitely not a Radiance, and both items are very strong this game. Radiance is the, like, Earth Spirit, Visage, and ideally a Blink Dagger Sven will all kind of have troubles dealing with that. And Vanguard, obviously, Sven, a lot of his damage gets mitigated by that, but okay, go for the Midas. You already have late game pretty well secured, seeing as how you have a Dragon Knight, but hopefully Spectre doesn't get punished for this kind of greed, as right now Radiant are invading the Dire jungle. Don't have Clockwork, though.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird one. Like, he has Hookshot back up. I guess he's looking for a solo
Monkey
kill
King gets
down
caught.
here. That's going to be a kill. They might decide to go on this, but they also don't have Haunt, so it's hard to actually get this kill onto this Darkseer. No, he's able to dodge away from it. Vacuum outside of the cogs, but it's not going to matter. They still managed to find that kill. But now the smoke.
Yeah, maxed out battery assault. Definitely a sizable amount of damage now. Top lane might need to be careful. Visage is 6, so he has familiars.
And should be able to find this. Grave Chill is there. Stun, followed up by stun. And
he's so tanky.
he gets hit by that stun. There's going to be the False Promise. They're walking into Wukong's command now. You need to be real careful through that one. Is going to bring how low? Can they get the kill? No, not going to be able to get it. Light Strike Array comes through, though, and they need to keep this DK alive. Oracle actually Fates Edicts himself to try and stay alive through this. And, well, it looks like the DK is going to be able to live. Light Strike Array again comes out. Mana for the DK is going to be there. They need a cooldown. 1 second until the Breathe Fire is back up, and it looks like that's going to be enough. They're going to have to back out now. The rest of the Dire retreat into their own jungle. 1-for-1 exchange.
Very even exchange. Both supports going down, and both teams having to spend some important cooldowns. I guess Dire team spent a few more. They spent the wall. They spent the. Well, actually, they didn't even use Laguna. Huh. I guess maybe she didn't have the mana for it. But they spent God Strength as well, and I believe both Familiars got iced out in the middle of that exchange, and so Familiars is definitely... Oh, okay, one of them died. The other one's still cruising around, but still a very, very expensive cooldown for a Visage. And it is a support Visage, but still, you're seeing how valuable the stuns can be against this Radiant team, as DK was not really having the cleanest escape due to Familiar stuns.
Yeah. And it's going to be a thing that's hard to deal with time and again, as they do find another kill there. A little bit of help from his friends. The Spectre goes for the Haunt, but Clockwork, nonetheless, going to be brought down.
This Clockwork is doing tons of work. Unfortunately, did give up a 5x streak to the Lina, but the fact that he's managing to effectively solo kill this one, like, yeah, Spectre got the kill. Or actually, no, Spectre didn't get the kill, but whatever the case, it was definitely solo kill capabilities for this Clockwork, and this is why the hero is seeing a resurgence. Like, you won't see a Slardar getting solo kills like that, you won't see a Centaur getting solo kills like that.
Absolutely not.
Mid lane.
Stun comes out, as well as that Fortune's End, trying to run down this Lina. But they will call off the charge there. Still want to just keep the Spectre farming. don't need to do a whole lot else besides that, because honestly, with the Hand of Midas and getting the acceleration of these talents, her talents are amazing.
You crazy for this one?
Oh, he's dead. I'm sure he's dead.
No.
Surely.
Where's the flare at, though?
Surely he's dead.
Where's the flare at, though? There we go.
All right, they got him. Well played.
You're right. You're right.
I was actually not sure that he was dead.
What are you talking about? I had absolute confidence. I was just giving that dramatic irony.
Right. I was not sure.
Yeah, for some reason Earth Spirit rolled onto the enemy river. Lena wanted to go pick up a haste rune, and I guess Earth Spirit was concerned for Lena's safety, but that was unnecessary.
Oh. Another Hand of Midas, by the way.
Oh, do we really? Oh, God, Strength. Hal wants to go in on Spectre, and she just bolts.
See you later, nerd. Yeah, that's the right play there. It is kind of the cool build that we've seen out of China more and more often recently, is the Mask of Madness into Sange and Yasha. Love that pickup.
Sven's definitely a hero that does not really care about being able to get his spells off, at least for the duration of the Mask of Madness. You'll walk in with Warcry, and that basically mitigates whatever minus armor there is, so it's an exceptional item on Sven. One of the few heroes that I accept it on. I've been seeing it occasionally on Luna's, and I mean, like, it's not a terrible item, but for some reason, pub players keep building it, and pub players can't get away with not being able to use Eclipse because they don't know the virtue of positioning, and so many times I'll see a Mask of Madness Luna burst into the scene and then be like, wait, why is pressing R not doing anything? But Sven precasts all of his spells, so he can definitely get away with it. Now, smoke up. They know where Lena is.
There's the haunt right off the bat, and, well, they're not even going to need to use the hook shot. Instead, just going to get the pushback with the cogs, and Monkey King picks up the kill. Might still think about going back for that Midas. Do I dare to dream? Monkey King Midas?
Do I dare to nightmare? They already have 2 on their team, and I guess this Clockwork is doing more than enough work at the mid-game that they can get away with it, despite him also being one of the Midas carriers. If anything, I thought that DK would be, like, next in line, but I guess DK is taking the mantle of being able to push back whatever potential, I guess, tower sieging Vici Gaming might present, which so far Hal on Sven has just not really been able to find an opening yet. Every single time he's off farming, he either gets molested by some haunt ganks or Clockwork finds them or something like that, and he's just having to stick around with his team. And Mask of Madness Spectre is one of the heroes that I don't consider it to be good on. It is, oh god.
Look at this, look at his farming speed.
Yeah, it's great. He's so fast.
It's wonderful.
Especially, like, okay, so there is minimal physical damage, I suppose, on the side of Vici Gaming, but what little physical damage that they have deals a lot. You've got God Strength Sven, you've got Familiars. Normally Familiars can't scratch a Spectre, but Visage is almost certainly going to be going for a Solar Crest after he, of course, completes the Midas, because sure, why not? And then once you're dealing with Solar Crest plus, you know, God Strength damage, you have very little physical sustain, especially if you don't go for a Vanguard on Spectre. And so I feel like this Mask of Madness may come to bite him once team fights roll around.
I wonder if you don't even pop it in the team fights and you just use it for, like, farming.
I guess, but then you're better off going for the Vanguard, because the reason you get the Mask of Madness is like, okay, you've got lifesteal to keep you healthy whenever you're farming up neutrals, and yes, the attack speed is nice, but if you're not going to use it in team fights, then it's not really that useful, because you need to, you know, get Desolate procs like crazy, but yeah. I don't know. We'll see what he makes with it.
They caught the Monkey King.
He is dead.
A nice little pick off there. Easy peasy.
Give it a Visage closer and closer to that Midas.
Yeah. Midas Gaming. Just everywhere. That's all you want.
Especially in South America.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Twice a game in South America. And in my games too, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh god, I think I have like a 10% win rate on Midas personally. I hate the item.
That's great. You just get to hang out, you chill in the jungle, you know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good Battle Fury, but that item's not good anymore, so... Oh, hookshot onto Lena.
Nice pushback as well. From her team. Is going to get ran down here, though, and they find that kill. The Vacuum keeping the Spectre stuck for a moment, but Still going to be alive for the moment as well. And now moving this into potentially a tier 1 tower.
Oracle dispelled the magnetize off Spectre, and then Spectre promptly ran into another rock, and so got remagnetized. So she's going to need to spend a little bit of time regenning. She uses the shrine up top. But yeah, like I would have thought that you turned this into a tower also. I can't believe the tier 1 mid is still up. This is the lane that DK was in, and it just has not been able to ever get the lane past the river for the most part. But he's getting larger and larger. He's going for a BKB now after that armlet is completed. And I mean, you almost would consider that if DK went for a Midas, would this game be any different, or would he be in a better position to take the late game? Because he has not been fighting with this armlet.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that you can't even really say that he's been doing it to get extra chip damage on the tower, because he hasn't really gotten that much out there at all.
Exactly.
But we'll see. Maybe he makes something happen with it shortly here. Maybe it's just indicative of them wanting to get ready to take a Roshan fight or something. You can maybe take that a little bit easier with Mask of Madness than you would be able to otherwise.
'Tis true. But no one has a Solar Crest yet on Radiant, and that seems to be the magic item. Spectre uses a scan, backs up.
I mean, here's the real thing, though. You get bonus 65 pure damage onto Roche.
Yeah, word?
Yeah.
Now that's DPS right there.
That's pretty good. I like that one. And then you get Mask of Madness. You just go crazy. You go berserk, you could say.
Is she actually Ursula in disguise?
Exactly. New Lorgasm. Out now. Now, here's the real problem. You pop your Mask of Madness, you can't get your Midas. Look, there's going to be some inefficiency here, I promise. Oh, wait, no, he was on top of it. Wow, that was really efficient.
Wait. How does Midas exactly stop? I mean, how does Mask of Madness stop Midas as the Dire Courier does?
Because you can't use items.
Oh, it's a mute.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Big nerfed mess. Oh.
Uh-oh. There's a stun coming out. No items, no nothing, no time. Run away. Is going to get the Fatina, keeping her alive for the moment. False Promise as well. They throw back through, and Wukong's command comes out as well. Can they bring these guys down? They're trying to battle it out. How chasing? Just running after them, and again, going to be able to stay alive for the moment. It does have 3 points up in it, and goes for the Purge, but it was never going to be enough.
Okay, and in the meantime, DK took mid, so really not the worst engagement. The fact that Spectre survived is really all that you care about if you're EHOME, so it's a pretty big commitment. They spend Magnetize, they spend Wall, they spend God Strength, all on EHOME, Vichy, just to get... God, I really wish these teams were tagged up, just to get one Oracle kill.
Yeah, me too. It's frustrating. I think also now, though, with like the Darkseer, though, you can start to make some of those plays. Mechanism is done. He's building back towards the Guardian Greaves, roughly about 900 gold away from that. And when you get those items up, sieging high ground becomes significantly easier. And maybe they just try and like run down the top tier 2 towers and build in towards the next Roshan.
The problem is I feel like he needs a Blink Dagger, because if Sven gets separated from the rest of his team, no one can help him. Lina has his Force Staff, which can help one person either join Sven or save Sven, but Hookshot Cogs is going to be a problem because Sven does not have a good way of dealing with it, especially if we keep going for these pushback plays, which Question Mark keeps doing with Clockwork Hook initiations.
Right. Yeah, he's been having himself a really great series, Mr. Question Mark.
No, absolutely.
And now again, let's have that Midas off cooldown, 2,000 gold away from finishing off the
Aghanim
Axe.
Scepter, yeah, nice. He's not going for the Blade Mail, which is a little bit ballsy. Usually against a Sven, it's a big item on your list. Same thing with Lina, but no, he's going for the Aghanim Scepter, which, again, he also recognized that he's the biggest thing at stopping Sven from doing what he wants, and now, oh my gosh, how did...
Oh, all right. Howie's caught. There's going to be the jump forward. Primal Spring, and catches a big balance strike as well. On to Prey. They have the wall already used, and now continuing the chase here. Can they run them down any further? Spectre might have gone a bit too far there. Prey still running away, and they're going to good magnetize, but it's not going to end up being enough, I don't believe, to bring down anybody from the Radiant. They should all back out of this one perfectly fine.
Wow, can Purifying Flames freaking insta-gibs familiars? Because I saw one, and then I saw a spell cast on it, and then I didn't see a familiar.
I think it depends upon Gravekeeper's Cloak. You have to be near enough range, because it's a 900 range that they get Gravekeeper's Cloak at. So if they step too far away from Visage, then you can. Because it's, what, 360 damage? So one right click, and then you would be able to take them down if they don't have it.
That sucks for Visage.
Yeah.
But then maybe that's why Oracle is so good this game. I mean, so far, really, Oracle has not like shown any reason why he's not a good pick, and he was able to support the Spectre in lane, able to be useful in team fights, and that's really all you can ask for support. The only thing he's missing is stuns, which many supports these days have, but oh my gosh, I'm gonna blade straight onto the Monkey King. Goodbye.
He's just gone, and how's gonna get this Roshan? If they're not careful, they're gonna take a terrible fight here. Prey, he does have Rolling Boulder as well as Boulder Smash if he wanted to go for it, but it looks like they're just gonna call it for the moment. Try and move in and take the next set of objectives as a team.
Yeah, they don't have any follow-up initiation. Earth Spirit can go in, but Sven doesn't have a blink. And Lina only has that aforementioned Force Staff. Same thing with Darkseer, no blink, so whenever they do go for initiation, they're going to need to go as a team. So I don't really know if anyone's going to be going for more positioning items. Lina goes for this Shadow Blade, which is a pretty common pickup on Lina, but it's not common to turn it into a Silver Edge, but this game I think it's definitely useful. You'll be able to break the Desolate Dispersion on Spectre, you'll be able to break the Dragon's Blood on DK, so there are a lot of useful passives to break.
Oh, and now another movement up towards top, sort of. There's still a tier 1 in the bottom lane. The Dire hold, as well as 2 tier 2s. But this could be one of those moments where, you know, you find one pick and suddenly the game is close to ogre if people don't have any buybacks.
Which was definitely an issue in a previous game that we saw, so
yeah.
I am always going to keep that in the back of my mind. At least for right now, the Dire team has the insurance of this Aegis. They'll have that for quite a while. It's pretty fresh. They'll have it for like another 3.5 minutes. But they want to do something with it. This is not going to be like a pure farming Aegis. I'm pretty sure it would be the safest bet to just take the top 2 towers, as now Selena goes invis.
That's Shadow Blade there, and they will be able to escape now. I'm just waiting for the big like Darkseer into Boulder Smash combo. You know it's coming.
If it comes, it'll come probably either at high ground or at Roche. I don't think any of these outer towers are going to present a good opportunity because Monkey King is just too good at gathering data that Radiant team won't really take a fight unless they have like amazing hookshot initiation or a great Wukong's command position or something like that.
Okay. That makes sense. Ooh, and now these 2 juicy talents. 20 strength on Spectre. Oh, it's so good.
That's level 20 talents.
I love
Meanwhile, my boy Oracle, skipping his talent to 10. Now that is the play. It's not often you see any heroes do that anymore, but Oracle is definitely one of them.
That Fate's Edict, I mean, it's so important. I think that's
so
what he took it
important.
in.
Definitely. Oh, they're going in. Monkey King spots out the Visage. Goodbye.
It's a quick blow up there. But it does mean Haunt is down, and Vacuum Wall back onto 2. How trying to chase this? He doesn't have the ability to stay tuck on one of these people. This is a huge problem now. Clockwork just going to run away from him as well. How can't stay on a target? Now BKB wearing off as well. He might be in a little bit further trouble. Does have Fate's Edict after the fact. If they want to use it on him, stay in the False Promise as well. That's keeping one alive. Aegis is now down, but it looks like with the BKB, they can think about turning this back around if they want to. But for now, Vici, or rather EHOME, still holding strong. And how? Well, gets the stun off. Still have Armlet here.
Running around in circles. Blink out. DK's fine. They have Surge, but the Cogs is going to separate even more. And How's still hungry.
Yeah,
he's Spectre.
There's Manta Style still there on Spectre, though. Oh, good catch right there with the False Promise. Or rather, Fortune's End. To slow down the Spectre, and stun comes out now onto Clockwork. Does have the Force Staff, but it wasn't going to be enough.
Oracle.
Yeah, he's gone too. Wow,
that was very, very. It should have been more, though. I feel. I mean, 3 is pretty good, but the way that How initiated was so weird because like he TP'd in and then he BKB'd, and so I figured the reason that he wasn't using God Strength and not casting Warcry before going into Mask of Madness was because he was like, okay, I have Aegis. If I jump into this fight and I die, then we'll take it after I respawn. But he used his BKB on his first life, and then he couldn't stun anyone because he was running around BKB'd and Mask of Madness, and so completely silenced, and didn't have God Strength up and running either. And so he just kind of ran around like a headless chicken for like the first half of the fight. Then EHOME stuck around, and they were like, oh, okay, well, his BKB's down, his Aegis is down, maybe we can take the fight. End up losing the... oh, Monkey King. They lose him too. And now Blink, Retaliation.
Yeah, they're gone all over him. And Oracle does have Fatigue now. We'll be able to stay alive, backing out yet again. Dragon Knight. Could have thought about doing something there, but if you keep on getting picked off like this in this fashion, you know that Haunt was down for that period. You know, you gotta be careful here if you're EHOME.
Especially if it's Lina the one getting the kills, because her Bloodstone's getting larger and larger. Now they're gonna smoke up. They don't really have like any real reason to go for this because Haunt is up. At most, Dragon's Form is down, but I don't really know if that's a big enough incentive, but they're gonna go for it anyway.
Yeah. And I mean, quietly, while it has been definitely the lead going into the favor of Vici over the past couple of minutes, you still have Spectre, who's top net worth right now by about 300 gold, doing a great job of farming in this one.
Yeah, and that's despite not having anything like a Radiance, but full Manta Style, Diffusal Blade completed. So Sven is definitely going to have a tough time dealing with this Spectre, at least pre-Silver Edge, which now it looks like Lina's going for a BKB. I don't know if that's the best option, because really BKB only helps her against DK stun, and that's it. Like, she can't do anything against Fate's Edict, because that's something you put on your allies, and in terms of other spells, you're still going to get stunned by Hookshot. And Monkey King is not actually working on a Basher, working on a Glimmer Cape. What the hell?
Interesting.
Okay.
Stay alive in Wukong's command, I guess, and
yeah, I suppose.
Money to burn.
Down here bottom, do they spot out? It does look like they will spot Spectre. Haunt in towards the mid lane. Nope, nothing doing. It's just going to be Spectre getting out of there. I think he was worried that the Earth Spirit was not alone and there are more heroes right there. And so ended up just popping the Haunt just to be sure. Oh, nice blink away there as well. Able to escape. The vacuum back. They have caught for a moment the Dragon Knight. Force Staff going to keep him alive a little bit longer. And Clockwork going to lay down the cogs as well.
Now, all the while, though, Spectre keeps farming, whereas Hao is working with this team. They have all this aggressive vision, and they want to do something with it. But, oh, they might find Spectre. Invis Lina.
This would be a really big one if they could find it. Light Strike Ray, it's not going to be on the point. So again, Spectre gets out. Stun comes there as well. Manta dodging the stun. Beautiful play from the Spec. And, well, the stun is still going to end up connecting. They get the vacuum wall onto 3.
They're all in the
a lot of
cogs.
damage going down every which way. The Spectre's still getting out of this one. They've got to pop the Shrine ASAP, but it doesn't matter. It's an ultra kill for Hao. He gets the stun up on the high ground. Give this man a rampage. I don't know if it's going to end up happening. One quick job.
Take it.
Bam, shakalaka. Delayed rampage because we're on the Perfect World servers. Hao is back, baby. Hao is back.
Oh, he's back with a vengeance. Buyback now on the DK, but he won't have Dragon's Form for another 80 seconds. He'll have his BKB, but this tower is getting shredded. Spectre could buy back, but she won't have Haunt. So they're going to lose this Rax. It's not the worst situation, but that is a fat net worth shift just off of one quick fight.
They're going for the next. They want to keep this going. I mean, they do want to at least force the buyback from Spectre, and the question is, do they actually decide to buy back on him? Because if you do, that means the rest of your fights are going to be so hard to take from this point forward. Jump forward, stun onto Lina, hook shot it as well. They've caught onto Hao, trying to control him. He's still chasing. Is going to be disarmed for the moment. They can't actually take him down. Vacuum there, caught again. That's going to be Clockwork dead for 50. They went halfsies, ain't no half-stepping, and that might cost him even further.
Nope, no half measures. BKB activated by the DK, but he still doesn't have Dragon's Form, and Sven is meanwhile killing your Monkey King, and he's just gonna walk out. He's just gonna walk out. He's just gonna walk out.
Oh no, Hao is gone. Well, it was beautiful while it lasted. Spectre picks up the streak, didn't buy back either, so that is 898 gold. That is 4,000 gold in her bank account.
It's a participation award at best, because all of the Dire team got a ton of gold for all those structures killed. A big old 10k net worth shift and a whole bunch of red squares next to that, and a pretty even amount of experience gained for the Dire team as well. So they are banking on their late game, and Spectre and DK are definitely heroes that can deal with it, but I don't know if they'll have the items necessary, because I don't think EHOME are going to... I mean, I don't think Vichy are going to let their foot off the pedal as now Hookshot connects onto the illusion.
Well, you know what's one thing that I really like about this build that we're seeing, though? You're going back for now the Butterfly instead of going in for something like the Radiance. It's pretty cool from the Spectre. It's like just mass stats destruction build.
However, Sven is going for a Bloodthorn, so he may be one step ahead. That the trade-off is that Oracle can basically nullify a large portion, or pretty much all of the Bloodthorn. Same thing with Manta Style. But so far, Oracle's kind of having a tough place being useful in these most recent fights. Like, he disarmed the Sven, that was great. But then everyone else just jumped on the Clockwork, and now they're going in.
Uh-oh. There's the stun, connects onto two of them yet again. Haunt comes out as well. Can they bring these guys down? Boundless Strike, not going to do anything right there to the Lina, because she had the BKB already popped, and now being pulled across, kicked across the battle. Everybody's all grouped up together here in the middle of it. How trying to get a kill off at all, but he just can't do it. They don't have any way to stay on top of these targets. DK is dead, but can they bring down anybody else? Well, still chasing, stun comes out. How? Not going to be able to do it. Diffusal Blade to slow him down. And that will allow the rest of the Radiant to get out, but they've already lost 3. And that should be a Roshan as well picked up.
Oh, Lina. What the hell was Lina doing?
That was not the play.
That was not the play. I mean, at least you made some space. Roche will be taken, but that was pretty unnecessary. Thankfully, she had buckets of Bloodstone charges, and she's back in the fight.
And now you just, like, run down a lane with this. Oh,
yeah,
God.
Ideally mid, as now Oracle trying to do not Oracle things. This is definitely not an Oracle thing. He's going to go for the vac. He doesn't get the read.
Oh, no. That's frustrating. No, but it doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
Wowza. A very rough couple minutes.
4 out of the top 5 net worths are owned by Dire Heroes. Visage has very, very well recovered. Midas was completed at some point on top of the Solar Crest, and now a full Rod. And that makes life very unpleasant. Like, again, Oracle can dispel these things, but I have now listed off like 10 things that Oracle needs to dispel, and he only has 2 dispels, so it's not really going to be able to help the team out as much as you would like.
And I mean, you do have like Manta to take stuff off as well, but yeah, it's
now Lotus Orb on Visage as well.
Yeah.
This is a farmed bird.
And you don't even need Aghanims at this point. Just do the damage with your birds. They're all so tanky because of Warcry. This has just been a very well-designed and well-executed draft so far by Vichy off the back of the How Rampage that we saw just a little bit earlier. And, well, they're going to get the disarm there for the moment, as well as the heals coming out. Stun on a bird, and it's gone.
He has the cooldown in 10 seconds, and he had pretty quick reactions. That Monkey King did quite a bit. I'm surprised he's actually not using the burst to scout the Monkey King, but they're about to take this tier 3. Thankfully, the other lanes are pretty pushed for Radiant, and so they're not under pressure. Now Vac, wall.
On to 2, big stun comes out as well. They're all dropping like hell. How on a killing spree, but look at the DPS coming out as well from the Radiant team. They buy back on into the fight. Everybody's dropping so low on the Dire. That's Aegis already down. 4 are out of there. They just completely destroyed them. The DK did so much damage in that fight.
Yeah, he got to abuse that vac wall because, yeah, it's great that your Darkseer brought your whole team close together, but a lot of the Dire team have to follow up on that initiation. You have a melee hero like Sven, and I don't really know how close Lina was into that fight, but Sven's your main damage dealer, and you just cannot really go toe-to-toe against a DK with an Oracle behind him. And I'm actually not sure who Oracle I actually was not paying too much attention to Oracle, but I would probably attribute a big amount of that success in that team fight to Oracle, because his spells were just too useful in such a close quarter situation, in such a bursty fight like that, and so they come out heavily on top. They're still in a pretty deep hole, don't get me wrong. They're 18k net worth down, they still have 2 Raxes down, and they were able to take a tier 2 at most after that fight, and they had to spend a buyback on Spectre and DK.
Yeah.
Oh no, DK's buyback was earlier, but they had to spend the buyback on Spectre. So, an expensive investment, but they get pretty much as good of a return on that investment as you could hope.
Yeah, honestly, that, like, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of, it was like 7,000 damage that actually ended up getting done by the Spectre. I thought that it was a lot of it coming from the DK and everybody being grouped together, but it looked like it's just this stats build, like 300 damage a pop just by the base hero, and then you have all those illusions dealing damage as well. It's a cool build.
I won't give it credit until it wins the game, though, because you can also look at what would have happened in theory if she had Vanguard Radiance or something like that, and you know, a Spectre at 40 minutes, you hope that she deals that kind of damage, but it's it hasn't looked bad, and that's the most important thing, because the Mask of Madness is an item that has the potential to fail and crash and burn, and we saw it one time on the Sven in an earlier fight, so as long as Spectre stays patient and stays disciplined, then you know, she can definitely deal a lot of damage in these fights. Scan.
Oh, Atos, he's rooted. Gonna back out now. Boundless Strike is available, already used, slowed down, and Tree Dance away. Thought about the Primal Spring forward, but didn't end up happening.
Yeah, Monkey King has this Basher now, and so, again, I really hope that Visage starts using these bursts to scout the Monkey King, because that was another big issue in that team fight, is that they were all stuck inside of a Wukong's command. I don't know if he had Basher before that fight, but it's definitely going to be an issue moving forward. I guess he didn't finish off that Glimmer Cape, he just got the casual cloak and is keeping it at that, but yeah, Basher is, time and time again, we've seen it to be a dramatic game changer in every team fight. Doesn't matter how late you get it, because the fact that you have like 12 randomly stunning objects is a little bit too much to deal with at any stage of the game.
Now you have buyback that's being saved for Hao, but Bloodthorn is in the works. He wants it. He wants to pick that big old sword up and start swinging away at people. Also, what else is there? Roshan gonna respawn potentially in 2 minutes.
And I imagine that EHOME, I mean, Vici are going to be, well, both teams, I guess, are going to be waiting for that next Rosh. Right now, Vici kind of got slapped back. Don't want to have to risk something else again, because, yeah, they have a lot of buybacks available, whereas Spectre buyback is down, and usually when the enemy 1 position's buyback is down, you're like, oh, we got to go now. We got to take this opportunity, but they don't really have the edge that they need to be able to confidently siege high ground again, so they'll wait for Aegis and Cheese.
I really hope we get to Sven or to Dragon Knight's level 25 to see if he takes the 75 movement speed. He might.
No freaking. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Spectre actually. I mean, sorry. Lena actually got Silver Edge. So okay, he might actually do it.
I want to see it. It would be great. The movement speed thing is actually pretty cool. I mean, look at what he's at right now, right? So he would be up at what, like 5'10" just regular?
4'10".
Oh, 4'10". You're right. Sorry. Thanks for that. I was thinking of Boots of Travel. Whatever. I can't do math.
That's definitely next in line. Because if you're going to go Race Scar, you have to go full Formula 1. Hook shot, clock.
They got it. They do have the back wall available. Darkseer pops the BKB, trying to run in. Only catches it onto one. Hao beating away. Can't bring down that dragon. The Spectre is off to the side, though, and doing a ton of damage. Hao still trying to chase her down. Not enough, and the stun's not going to be there either. That's going to be Visage brought down. Hao still chasing Spectre, but they just can't run him down at all. Now Hao's caught in the cogs. Is going to be able to destroy and kill off that Monkey King. But everybody else is out of there. Stun onto Oracle. Can he bring him down a couple swipes?
Oh, no.
There's going to be the disarm, creating a little bit of separation, backing back out. And now the DK trying to chase down Hao. They don't have much life. They don't have much mana. Lena comes back in. They dodge the Light Strike Array. They do have that Aghanims jumping forward, catching the Sven yet again. Force Staff still chasing. They aren't quite being able to catch up to him. And now Spectre coming into the fight. They have to back out now. 3 dead, though, for Vici. Very, very close And he's finally going to be able to buy that Bloodthorn while still maintaining buyback.
I think Vici Gaming are kind of falling into this trap of dealing with whoever Clockwork hooks, and so they put a lot of resources and a lot of damage on this Clockwork, which is normally the plan whenever he doesn't go for Blade Mail, because you're like, oh, he basically just threw himself into our team, let's go kill him. The problem is that Spectre goes and haunts, and she has all the data available. She finds the most isolated target, and then just starts working outside in. Finished off the Visage pretty early on, well, not finished off, but the Earth Spirit and the Visage were under siege from the Spectre, whereas the carries, the Lina and the Sven, were trying to deal with this Monkey King and Clockwork, and that's exactly what Vici, that's exactly what EHOME, that's exactly what Radiant want to happen.
Yeah.
They want you to have to go after these kind of initiating heroes that aren't dealing damage. They try to go on the Dragon Mount. Oh.
And again, another vacuum pulling him back in. Need to be a little bit careful. The hook shot, it's caught onto one. That's pretty good. Prey going to be pushed outside of it now. Gets the roll away, but now the haunt, the chase. They want to run these guys down. How's popped his BKB already? As two has the Darkseer. They're still getting the chase down with that Diffusal Blade. A good kick away by the Earth Spirit, trying to save the Visage, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of here. They're on the run, but these heroes can chase you down. Vici Gaming in a hell of a lot of trouble. EHOME are making the plays that they need to. No buyback on Lina, no buyback on Visage. And now you have to hold high ground against an angry dragon.
Still has a fair amount of time left on this dragon form as well, so you will be able to take the tier 3 in racks. You may have to call it quits at there, although Sven wants to fight.
Oh, they pop it. There's the jump in. Vacuum walls. Sven stun as well. Can they do it? Do they have enough damage? They're taking so much, but there's going to be the stun to turn it back around. Wukong's command is down as well. The bashes, they're too real. And that's going to be Sven out of there. Oh, no, no, no. It did. It made him.
Dragon Knight goes down as well, so it's a little bit of a setback. They're not going to continue the siege, but the fact that you were able to kill the Sven, he was basically having to suicide to save his tier 3, and it worked, but ever so slowly EHOME are clawing their way back into the game, and Spectre just has not died in a while, and she's just going to get larger and larger. She's been spending a lot of these BKBs. Started out at 10 seconds, probably like about 5 or so minutes ago, already down to 8 seconds, but she's making good use of it, and Sven really needs clean initiation, and Clockwork keeps interrupting him. Question Mark is definitely getting my MVP for the game, no matter if it goes in his favor or not, because he was able to interrupt that vacuum into the Stormhammer, and if there was just like 1 more second of Sven attacking, then instantly DK and Spectre would have both died before Monkey King would have been able to get a Wukong's command, so this Clockwork is proving to be a game changer, and his Aghanim Scepter choice is definitely clutch.
Well, can he do it again? He's going to hook shot right into the Roche Pit. Doesn't actually hit onto anybody, and now the Haunt comes out as well. They have caught that Visage, though. So he is held into place and is going to end up being brought down, I believe. Well, 4-step, yeah, he's gone. Another kill onto him. And moving out like that without the Sven, very rough. I think I'm going to try one reconnect real quick to see if it works at all. So
go for it.
I'm going to do that. Let me know if we miss anything at all while we reconnect to the game.
Roche is being attempted right now by Spectre, doing pretty good time, and Sven is going to come back in 1 second, and he's TPing straight to the shrine. Oh god, he gotta come back. He's TPing. He completes the TP. There's hook shots going on, but he gets interrupted by a familiar. Okay, now you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. We're chilling.
We're good. We're getting back in. Don't worry, guys. Game is good.
Sven's waiting. Looking for a moment. Hasn't put his Mask of Madness out of his backpack yet.
I want to see it. All right, there we go. We're back in. There's the vacuum. Nope. Not gonna get him.
Maybe you messed it up. Spectre going in.
Maybe. Okay, there's the turnaround. How pops his as well. Gets a stun on it too. It's a lot of damage. They do have the false promise to keep the Monkey King alive for a moment, but he is gonna pop after the fact. Can they turn now and take down this Dragon Knight? They're also fighting by the shrine where there is a lot of heals coming through. The BKB is now worn off for the DK. They have a lot of control here available. Everybody's still alive for the Dire, and that's 2 dead for the Radiant. Now running into the Roche Pit. Can they secure this game and knock EHOME out of the qualifiers?
Oh man, Spectre patiently waiting on this hill. Is she actually going to go back into the pit? No, she's just going to sprint out of it. Okay. Yeah. This is very back and forth. Sven almost died, and if he had died, that would have been devastating for Dire, but they put so much damage. They finish off the Monkey King, and If he was just alive for a little bit longer, may have been able to get a few more bashes, may have been able to stay a little bit more in Wukong's command, but he goes down and DK quickly follows, and they're gonna get the Roche, they're gonna get the cheese. Give it to the Sven.
Go get cheese. Go. Get cheese.
I mean, Sven didn't have his Mask of Madness that entire fight. It was in his backpack the whole time. So honestly, I wouldn't mind if they gave him the cheese and just kept the Mask of Madness there. Are they gonna sell it?
Oh, he's selling it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's getting AC. He's still a ways away from it though. Still his buyback.
Still his buyback.
Very tense game, and to keep it on the buyback stats, you guys can see you're very close to it for the Radiant. So if they can find like 1 or 2 kills before the Dire fully commit, they'll have buyback for this fight as well. But they're 900 gold away from it for the Spectre. There's the tier 3 down. The stun comes out as well. They're controlling them. Fatita keeping them alive for the moment as well. Going to be able to get the Purge off to follow. Nice play there. 4,000 HP on the Spectre. So hard to deal with.
What you need is HP on your structures, though, unless you get initiation like this.
Hookshot jumps in. They've caught him. DK is there as well. He is being broken, though, so doesn't have all of that regen and trying to run in now. Can they pull these heroes down? Spectre chasing. Diffusal Blade down onto 1. Is going to be purged off a second time now. DK finds the stun onto Lina. Trying to find that kill as well. The hookshot goes through. Is going to be able to connect the Wukong's command. They're all standing in it. Is this going to be enough to bring them down? It doesn't quite look like it. He is pulled out of it, and now Sven disarmed, is forced to run away. He cannot hit anybody in this fight, starting to bring him low, but Spectre still standing strong. Is she going to be able to live through this? No buyback for 2 minutes. Cheese dropped on the ground. Monkey King can't do anything either. They are all down, and Vici Gaming have knocked them out of the qualifiers in a flurry of dropped frames. We did it.
Vici Gaming were pretty confidently in the lead the entire time, but the fact that it looked so close, despite there being a pretty consistent 20k net worth advantage, just goes to show how good EHOME were at staying in this game. They were spending buybacks, but they were staggered, so it wasn't like the whole team was out of commission at any given point, and they were finding their picks, they were contesting Roche, they were initiating cleanly with the Clockwork, and again, I still give my MVP to the Clockwork, because even in that last fight, Spectre was about to die much earlier, but then Question Mark quickly came in with another hookshot onto the Sven, stalling out yet again, but it wasn't enough in the very last throes of the fight. Oracle, False Promise, was keeping DK alive, but only for a little bit, and I'm pretty sure that win rate will continue suffering as EHOME are now eliminated from MDL contention.
Frustrating one, I'm sure, for them. I believe that's going to do it for us for today as well. I'm going to double check in with the admins because they said something in Skype that chilled my heart a little bit, which was LGD versus...
The best of 10.
Well, they just said LGD versus LFY best of 5. Oh, that's tomorrow. That's later.
Wait, BO5's already?
BO5, because there's 2 qualifying spots out of this. So tomorrow it's going to be LGD Forever Young versus LGD Gaming in a best of 5, and the winner of that is going to go to the event, or is going to qualify for MDL.
I got you.
And then the other one takes place a little bit later on between the loser of that and then the winner of the next series, which is going to be EHOME Keen versus Vici Gaming. But yeah, Hao is back. He did it. Had a hell of a game on this Sven. There were a couple moments where it looked shaky. What do you think about the team as a whole, though?
Yeah, seeing as how even some people were like, oh, he's been just playing Final Fantasy for the past 7 months. So mechanically, Hal looked solid. It was just that one fight near the bot tier 2 where his BKB and Mask of Madness and Asia's kind of timing were all a little bit misplaced. But aside from that, he played about as well as I could expect any one position carry to play. So he's doing good, and the rest of the team were doing a good job at playing with him. They picked drafts that needed to synergize, and they pulled it off very well. Aside from that game 1, which actually the game 1 was probably the best example of synergy on Vici, but it crashed and burned at the very end, but it was a glorious fire, and at least we have that memory as we are going to... Oh wait, no, was that EHOME actually?
That was EHOME. They should have won game 1, yeah.
Well, then there you go. Even more props to Vici Gaming. Despite having a terrible, terrible deficit, they were still able to pull it out, and yeah, I look forward to this roster moving forward.
Certainly. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a hell of a day. I've been doing a lot of casting. I've been up for 25 hours now, so I'm going to go to sleep.
You've been taking a world tour, so you definitely deserve a little bit of Z's.
Yeah, I did NA, and then I did SEA, and then I did China, and I think I did some EU earlier, too. It was great. It was great. You love to see it.
Shout out to time zone conversions.
But Tsunami, thank you again for joining me. You want to give yourself a little sellout to let everybody know where they can find your stuff?
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at Tsunami643. It's all used, less than you would expect, but I would always appreciate more company.
I saw somebody messaging in chat that said, when is the Be a Better Offlaner going to be out?
I actually had to make a command in my stream because so many people were asking, but unfortunately, I don't have an answer.
Yeah, that's fair. I wasn't going to grill you, but I figured I'd throw that out there to put a little bit of extra fire under the fuel.
Of course.
Or fuel under the fire.
Oh, it works.
That's the expression. Yeah, and at Lyrical Dota for me, that's all. That's it. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I think that's going to do it for us. Any final words? I'll let you sign us out.
Looking forward to MDL. I don't know if many people have it on their radar as one of the LAN events to be keeping eyes on, seeing as how Epicenter and Summit and Starladder iLeague are all going on, but this is all tournaments you're going to have to keep your eye on because they will determine who goes into TI almost certainly, so don't sleep on MDL.
All right, everybody. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see you guys next time. Adios.